I know.
Oh, we should have done a fucking... Oh, shit, we're live. Oh, fuck. I was saying we should have done a year in review episode, like the year in outrage. That would have been
still
perfect.
Not the end of the year. We still can. We'll do it when you get back.
We'll just do it. Yeah.
Okay, don't talk about it anymore.
We'll do it when I get back. Just kidding. Hey, Internet.
Don't ruin it. Hi, Internet. How are you?
Nobody heard a thing.
Smooth,
hey,
bro.
Welcome to episode 193 of Outrage Factory.
I just had to look, so that's how I know for sure.
That's fine. 100. I can only count as high as 192. Beyond that, it's like, what the fuck? Welcome to another pointless episode of Outrage Factory.
Hey,
the podcast where we look at the things that make people not online and explain why they're dumb. Forget Dale. Everything is pointless in this slow march towards death. We
are like a calm port in the storm for your beautiful little ears on this post-Christmas hangover where everybody's. I'm dreading going to work tomorrow. It's only been 4 days.
Do you not work today?
No, I work tomorrow.
Oh, I fucking work today.
My body's like, we're not fucking ready to go back to work.
Why didn't you have to work?
Because Canada has 2 stat days, one for Christmas Day and one for Boxing Day.
Why did I work? Why am I the only person who worked today?
Because you're not working tomorrow?
No, I'm also working tomorrow.
You're not working the next day?
I'm not working the next 2 days.
Yeah, because you're going to the US again.
So here's something fucking fun. For those of you who are listening to this episode and haven't
further adventures of Derek going to the States.
Haven't like this time. I'm just like so Omicron is a thing. It's the latest COVID variant. It's just
I heard it's just a bad cold.
It's just running a train. Yeah, but okay. So the thing about that, I'm not worried about symptoms or anything.
Yeah,
but everyone's getting this fucking thing,
and
everyone and it doesn't matter.
We were always supposed to always get it. It's just now they're cashing in the chips.
Yeah.
2 years ago, the scientists were like, this isn't going away for years. We're all going to get it.
Gonna turn and I accept that. But my problem is that if I get it,
I'm hot.
If I get it,
I lost 5 minutes with this hoodie.
You did great. If I get Omicron while I am in America, which is almost an inevitability at this point.
Oh, everybody in the States has had COVID though, so it's probably
but that's the other
less
thing.
Likely to get it there than here.
My wife, some of her relatives have already had COVID.
Yeah,
some of them have already had COVID and been vaccinated. They still got Omicron. They have COVID again.
Oh shit!
So they're supposed to have this super immunity, and Omicron is just boop, we're inside you now.
Well, I guess that answers my next question I thought that the antibodies from regular COVID would help you, but I guess they're as useless as the vaccine is.
They are. And I mean, the whole point of antibodies and the vaccine isn't to stop you from getting COVID. It's to stop you from getting sick and dying. I know, wild. But here's the problem. I'm going to go to the States, and I'm 100% certain that this is the time that I will get. I've had 8 trips to the States since COVID started.
You've just been dancing through.
And I've managed to not get 8 trips to the States and 1 trip to Italy. And I've managed to not get COVID on any of those trips.
Yeah. If you were going to get it anywhere, it would have been Italy.
Yeah.
Italy.
But so if I get it, I can't just show up at the Canadian border and be it's a mild cold. Good. They still won't let me into the fucking country.
Yeah.
So
do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
In Italy, it's not a spike protein. It's a pinch protein. Get it? Are you glad I just fucking stepped on your train of thought for that terrible joke?
Yeah, I'm also glad that we don't. I'm glad.
You know what?
I'm glad we don't have any listeners in.
We have 2
in Italy. Shit.
Oh,
sorry.
In Italy. Oh,
sorry,
in Italy.
Italians.
Fuck. Do they know how to podcast in Italy? They're too busy eating spaghetti,
eating delicious food,
mozzarella.
living in
I'm only making
appreciating
fun of Italy.
history.
Italians because I feel like that's one of the last people will be allowed to make fun of.
Technically,
because,
you can't.
Well, you can't, but nobody's going to enforce it. What are they going to do? Like make me drive around in an IROC until I, or a Thunderbird and wear a gold chain till I learn empathy?
You're confusing Italians and Italian Americans, which are totally different.
They're different. Aren't Italian Americans from Italy?
Yeah. Okay. They're from
Are
Italy.
They just loud people with tans?
They're from Italy in the same way that like you're from fucking Holland or wherever.
The Netherlands.
And I'm from France.
From the Netherlands.
And that
How
we are not.
is a country called the Netherlands, by the way? Does that not sound like hell or a weird dreamscape in a movie? The Netherlands, like the Netherworld.
Genitals.
If I said the Netherworld, you'd be like, oh, fuck, did he die? But if I say, oh, I went to the Netherlands, people are like, oh, it's like Holland, right? And you're like, yeah.
I'd like to introduce her to my Netherlands.
Hey, yo.
Am I right?
Right.
Anyway.
Stick my finger in her dike.
I'm going to get...
Because Netherlands has lots of dikes because it's below seawater. It's pretty much Dutch Richmond.
I'm supposed to be coming back here on January 3rd, and we will see if that actually happens. So I might have to spend an extra 2 weeks in Key West, Florida.
Oh, no. I thought it was impossible to hate you anymore. But
worst places.
3 weeks in Key West.
Worst places to be stuck.
Hey, wait. You've been to Key West before, and we talked about it.
We have.
And we talked about it being a possible addition to the Beach Boys song.
Yeah. Well, because Key Largo, Kokomo, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Key Largo is one of the, there's the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
And Key Largo is one of them, but Key West is not.
Is this in the Florida Keys?
It is in the Florida Keys, yes.
Do you still pretend you're in a Beach Boys song? Because I fucking would.
I mean, no.
What?
I just enjoy the heat and the sunshine and the palm trees and all the cool shit they have to do. And I do not think about the Beach Boys at all.
Really? You don't think about old men who had an in-run or a run-in with Charles Manson?
Strangely, I do not. Dale, what's going on with you, buddy? How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was great. Me and you had Christmas dinner and it was delicious. And you made, what was it? 10 pounds, 12 pounds of prime rib.
It was a big ass prime rib.
Magnifique, which is 2 wrong words to put together, but it was so good. We ate so fucking much. And we were totally cool because we did what the young kids do. We did a jelly bean challenge and then we didn't record any of it. So nobody knows. So it's like we wasted our time.
Yeah, we did a spicy bean chat. My poor son was jacked up to do this spicy jelly bean challenge for 2 weeks. And every day he was like, Dad, can we do the jelly beans? And I was like, no, we have to wait for your Uncle Dale and your Uncle Sean and it'll be more fun. And then the day finally comes and he eats the first bean, which is the mildest of all. There were 5 different heats and he had the mildest one. And he basically immediately barfed on himself and his nose started bleeding. So
I got to side with your son because that was not the mildest one. It was hot as shit. So I might have gotten a hotter one, but the jalapeno one, which was supposed to be the second in the hot ladder, was milder than the first one. But I guess it's neither here nor there. And the champ that he wanted to go back and try the second one. And we were like, that was the 1 second where we became adults and we're like, no, you can't just eat it. So I cut it in half and gave him half because we're responsible adults. And even though he was asking for it and he just ate the bean that was way too hot. And we all had that moment where should we have let that happen?
For the record, I don't think having the bean halved the heat in it. Your logic was flawed. It was just going to be as spicy as that.
Derek, this is how I sleep at night.
He did it. He ate the jalapeno bean and then he went back for seconds of the bean that made his nose bleed and he handled that okay. Yeah.
So we're good.
Also,
don't call child services.
Yeah, there's no reason to do. I was just rethinking us saying that we fed him these spicy beans on air. So edit that out.
How about we just? Oh, this is a live stream, bud.
Oh shit! Fuck.
How about we just do what everybody else is doing and blame it on TikTok and Twitter?
Yeah.
Like anything shitty the kids do, we blame on TikTok. Anything shitty adults do, we blame on Twitter.
Well, I just
Anything
saw fucking
shitty the olds do, we blame on
Facebook. Social media is ruining our lives. I saw a fucking
the problem for everything. None of it's my fault.
There's a TikTok challenge going around. And I don't know if this is true or not, or if it's one of those like mass hysteria things about a thing that isn't really happening. But they said
fallen for that before. Let me tell you,
many Tide Pod eating Tide Pods. Nobody's fucking eating Tide Pods.
Not anymore because they died.
But there was apparently this young girl that just died somewhere in the U.S. after doing. It's basically like an asphyxiate yourself challenge that someone started on TikTok, and like teens are like basically strangling themselves until they pass out and die. And I'm like, that's such a fucking like, whoever started that challenge had to do it with the intent of like people dying. Like there's no other reason to do it, right?
Do I have to be the guy who has to remind you that when we were teenagers, we were doing the knockout challenge where we would stand with our backs to a wall and we'd be like, and then someone would put their hand on our throat, like, not like, but like kind of like to block the sides. And then we would like pass out. And then like people were doing it with a towel where you'd like sit on a couch and you'd lean forward and you'd take a bunch of deep breaths. And then you'd stand up and your friend would like cinch a towel around your neck. But we didn't record it, and nobody I personally know died.
And we did it with there were other people there in case shit went sideways.
Yeah.
Here, I found it. It's called the Blackout Challenge on TikTok. And it's
let me Google this. I just Googled Google.
That's you're getting better at this.
I can't type and talk, apparently.
Yeah, it was called the Blackout Challenge, and kids are basically just choking themselves. And like on social media, there isn't someone there to help you if you actually pass out.
Accidentally David Carradine yourself.
Yeah, or intentionally.
Well, I guess these kids aren't jerking off, so that's a bonus that they're not doing that at the same time.
That is a bonus, because I don't even know, that will probably violate TikTok's terms of service.
Even have terms of service?
They gotta.
I mean, I feel like
I don't think you can show your.
I feel like they're like, you're not allowed to do bad stuff on TikTok, but at like TikTok headquarters, they're just like, fucking, we don't care. Whatever gets more hits gets more hits. Although they have shut down using other hashtags before, so they'll probably shut down this one because someone died.
I would hope so. I mean, kids
literally the least they could do.
Kids, gather near. Your uncles Derek and Dale have an important message for you. If you feel like choking yourself until you black out to take part in a viral social media trend, don't do that.
Do it with your dickhead friends like we did.
Yeah.
Don't do any of these challenges. It's so bad because it's like you want to tell these like TikTokers like, these kids are fucking idiots. And you're like, well, we did all this shit. We just didn't record it. So if you wanted how about this? How about,
to be fair,
we do the cool uncle thing. We're like, look, if you're going to do dangerous activities like drink and smoke and do drugs, do it at a safe location.
Do it in our basement where at least I'll even buy the smokes and alcohol and the choking devices for you. You just need
creepy kid's house.
Yeah. Just
that was my coaster. Sorry.
Was that a glass coaster?
Yeah, it's
oh, cool.
It's like, yeah.
To our listeners, it's cool. I won't tell you what it is.
Yeah. If you're only listening to us, it's a magenta slice of a geode that's solid, and it came in a set of like 5. It's fucking super dope looking, but it's loud as fuck when it sticks to the bottom of your cup and you drop it.
And then falls into your lap, hits your dick. What was my point? I'll buy.
Doing it at your creepy friend's house.
I'll buy you the choking implements.
I'll buy you the choking implements.
Do it.
Just do it in my basement.
And also, in our defense, we weren't doing the shit for fucking social media. We were doing it to get high, which is a much more noble cause.
Yeah.
Than whatever, like doing it for fucking social media likes.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay. What's more dangerous? Choking yourself in each other's basement or drinking in the hayloft? How are we still alive? We used to drink in my hayloft a little bit because my parents weren't that cool if they ever caught us. So
yeah, I don't think I ever saw your parents.
Not you. This was like when I was 15.
Okay.
When I first started drinking, when I was that young. Oh, if you're 15 and you're listening to this, don't drink until you're legally allowed to, because
also if you're 15 and you're listening to this, walk away, come back in 3 years. We'll have some blistering hot takes for you then, but maybe just
how about if you're 15 and listening to this, go ask your parents how they screwed up.
Yeah. I mean, in our defense, it's not like the things we did while drinking into adulthood got any more, and like we were still doing idiot shit. Well, basically, right up until the day I quit drinking personally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty much I was right there with you. I didn't quit drinking. I just quit getting drunk because I was such a fucking idiot. So
yep.
I don't know. Does that count as not drinking?
Yeah.
Oh, there has to be like a halfway point where it's like I don't get drunk anymore.
Well, so there's this whole thing now where it's called like mindful drinking, and that's basically it. That you'll like have like a drink or two, but you don't get drunk, and that's just like
you ruined it.
Control. Yeah, I know.
Is it called mindful drinking, or is it called normal adulthood and non-binge drinking?
Yeah, well, that should be what it's called, but you'd be surprised that it's like, I think non-binge drinking has become so rarefied now, even with adults, that they had to give it a catchier name. So that's
they should normalize that type of drinking so more people do that, because they're like, well, it's either I go completely sober or a binge drink every weekend. Yeah. There's no middle ground. It's like, it's called cocktail hour.
Yeah, it's called not having addiction problems or not needing to fill the gaping hole inside of you with alcohol.
Yeah, you just get a job that has a disposable income, and then you fill that gaping hole with figurines and video games.
Yeah.
Or expensive things that I can't afford, so I'm not doing it without.
Yeah, like video games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's going on with hummingbird feeders, Dale?
Hummingbird feeders?
Humming.
Andrea, full disclosure, we got a resident hummingbird who we've been putting out hummingbird feeder for a while, and then there's one guy who came over and he just hangs out. Okay, I don't know if he's male or female. Sorry to gender.
Yeah, don't come on,
guy.
Don't say that. Don't misgender the bird.
Has been hanging out,
Dale.
And we didn't know, but as soon as like hummingbirds get used to you feeding them, then they just expect you to feed them. Like they turn into full-on leeches, and they're like the SPCA and like the Hummingbird Association of British Columbia, or whatever the fuck they call it, is trying to guilt everybody into being like, look, if you fed a hummingbird after September, it's relying on you for all of winter now, so it's your fucking problem. You shouldn't have fed it in the first place. And then I was like, what? Okay. So like the wonderful man I am, I'm like, I'm going to keep this fucking hummingbird alive through winter, because what'll happen is if you leave your sugar water out in the cold because it's like it's been cold this week in Vancouver, which it never is.
Crazy cold.
The hummingbird feeder will freeze, like the liquid inside it will freeze, and then the hummingbird won't be able to drink, and they die like in a day if they don't have food. So if you don't feed it every day, it just fucking dies right away. So this hummingbird feeder talk of keeping them warm just exploded all over Vancouver, Reddit, all over Twitter and everything. And yeah, that's what's up with hummingbirds, Derek.
Wait, no. So go, because I saw a post that so what did you do to keep your hummingbird warm, Dale?
Well, I'm going to give everybody a hot tip here because I went and got like a clip-on desk lamp. So it's just like I don't know where it is right now. Anyways, I got it from Canadian Tire. It's like $17. And if you put in just a regular old school halogen bulb, not an LED because those don't give off heat, but if you get an old school bulb and just put it like right against the feeder, then it'll keep it warm enough that the water won't freeze. And then the little guy can drink all day. And you don't have to worry about it at night because they go sleep in bushes or something. I don't know. Andrea told me all about it, but
wait, so has your hummingbird come back since you put your little heaty lamp out there?
He's there. He's there today.
Is he living in there? Does he live in it?
No, he like sits on the deck. And then the funny thing was he's like chirping all the time. And I'm like, oh, he's happy. And then Andrea looked it up and it's like, no, he's just being a dickhead and not letting any other hummingbirds come drink from the feeder because he claimed it as his own.
Fucking asshole.
I know, but he's so cute.
You should turn that lamp off.
Nope. I will be emotionally distraught if this hummingbird dies. I'm invested.
Are you though?
Mm-hmm. Mainly because it's a very easy thing to do. All I had to do was get a desk lamp and turn it on.
They should do the same thing with homeless people. Basically, just like make an announcement, be like, if you donated money to a homeless person at any point this year, they are counting on you to continue giving them money or to provide them with. Because I don't think there's like, they always do a really shitty job when it gets cold in Vancouver of like creating enough occupancy for homeless people to have like a warm place to spend the night. So if you gave money to a homeless person at all this year, you are now responsible for making sure they get through this cold snap. So go out there, see if you can find them, pick them up, bring them home, give them a blanket, cup of soup.
Or just get a lamp and put it beside them and be like, gotcha, buddy. Why don't they have just like giant heat lamps just on the streets, like just pouring down heat? That would be enough.
You just solved homelessness.
I sure did. I just turned all homeless sleeping sidewalks into patios. Yeah, because it's been unseasonably cold. I'm about to piss off every Canadian who's not living in Vancouver currently. It got to -9 yesterday.
It was -12 up here on the mountain.
Oh, well, we don't all have that rich mountain life like you, Derek. But yeah, so the reason hummingbirds are actually here is they're used to fly south for the winter and stuff. Like they migrate like any other bird. But I think it was like, I don't know, I read all about this today. I think around 2008, there's like certain breeds that started sticking around Vancouver because usually it's warm enough that they don't have to worry about it. And there's enough hummingbird feeders to feed them. Seen a lot of eyelid there, Derek. You getting tired of my hummingbird talk?
No, please tell me more about the hummingbirds, Dale. I am enthralled. I was just looking up our next story so I could be prepared to speak about it.
Okay, what is our next story?
What's the Guardian newspaper in the UK?
This is actually a pretty good one.
Recently ran an open poll for readers to register their person of the year. I have to assume it was like overrun with trolls.
No, I think it's just people in Europe, and because Guardian is from the UK. So I think people in the UK still genuinely like J.K. Rowling.
True. And it's the like 20-year anniversary of the first Harry Potter movie, I think.
Yeah. And they got all the Harry Potter cast together for a reunion show, and they didn't involve J.K. Rowling because she said only women menstruate. And everybody thinks she's like a TERF.
She is a
TERF. Which, I mean, she was a homeless single mom. She's probably got issues about men. If anybody has seen the worst side of men, it is someone who is a single mother and homeless, because men are predators on them. Yeah. What do you think, Derek? Is it 192 episodes? We finally get ourselves canceled by openly talking about the transphobia of J.K. Rowling?
Like, I think she's a fucking idiot for starters. Like, I think she's an idiot with shitty views for starters, but she's especially an idiot because, like, you've written down the most success. She's far beyond fucking doubling down at this point. She is like, she's like, I don't know, like centurion down, because she's just been like, she refuses to. This is a woman who was like living out of a fucking car at one point, and she goes on to write the most successful series of books in history.
Yeah,
I think. I'm just guessing, but like,
how about this? She wrote the most successful series of books, which is a young adult version of Lord of the Rings ever.
Yeah, she wrote the most successful series of books with a ginger kid and a boy wizard and whatever the fuck else. And then like those books get turned into a very successful series of movies. She's got like fucking like fandom around the world, and these people are like super fans. Like, these people are like, these people put Star Wars fans to shame.
Yeah, they pretend Harry Potter is better than Lord of the Rings. That's how big of fans they are.
But like,
I'm a bit bitter because it's fucking not as good as Lord of the Rings.
And she has all of this.
Not even as good as The Hobbit. So take us hike.
She has built all of this from nothing, and she can't stop. Like, she undoubtedly has a PR firm working for her, probably multiple PR firms, and she can't stop fucking running her mouth on Twitter and like baiting trans people and like saying toxic shit, and then like turning her fans against trans people and probably alienating a lot of her fans who are trans. And it's like, lady, all you had to do was shut the fuck up and not say. And you could like, you can keep believing the ignorant shit you believe. You just say it internally in your internal voice, or you say it into a house full of people when you're surrounded by, people personally, or you just don't go with a fucking megaphone and broadcast it on Twitter. And then you don't keep doing that for years after people call you up for it.
Yeah, this is the kind of talk you say for all your other secret evil billionaires for when you're at fucking that grove in the States where they fucking sacrifice a child effigy to Bahamut, and that's where you tell people.
Yeah.
What's that fucking called? Why can't I think of this?
What are you?
It's gonna bug me. Fuck. Bohemian Grove. Tell people at Bohemian Grove.
Very niche tip of your tongue moment there, because I'm like,
I know. Because you can't help me, because nobody knows what that is.
Anyway.
Oh, I didn't put it. Okay, yeah. So this is funny to me because it's like The Guardian is like, okay, guys, who do you think is the person of the year? And weirdly enough, Elon Musk wasn't running at the top of their polls. So J.K. Rowling is like looking like she's going to win, and they just fucking pull the plug on the poll. Like, even like, it doesn't matter what you think of J.K. Rowling. You can't just pull the plug on your poll because you just look like an idiot now. It was like when the NHL tried to fuck over that Alan Scott guy.
I remember that. Well, yeah, the other thing, like, the British have to know, like, they're the whole reason they have that fucking boat named Boaty McBoatface. Like, that was also a public vote that was put to the British people. Like, just don't let the British vote anymore. And that goes for anything. Like, let's just like kill Parliament, go back to full monarchy. The Queen rules everything. Fuck voting. You don't get to do it anymore. Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, then at least we couldn't have people say how bad the patriarchy is, because we'd be like, actually, we're under a monarchy and the Queen's top dog.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah. Like Derek said, don't fucking let the public pick anything, because they're the ones who made Nickelback the most famous rock band ever, and Nickelback sucks.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I just got my COVID test results so that I can go to the States tomorrow. And? Negative. Let's go. Yeah, now I just have to get one on the way. Like, this one's not important. I would have rather had this one been positive than the one when I come home be positive.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you a horror story. Andrea's brother's friend, they went to Costa Rica, and one of them tested positive, so they have to stay there for 10 extra days in Costa Rica.
Again, that's not so bad. It's just expensive, probably, right?
Oh, as expensive as fuck. And then would your boss be cool with you just be, well, I guess if you work remote,
I would just keep working. Yeah.
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 But if I did it, like, cause I have a non-pajama job, which I call them now. So pajama jobs are just the ones you can work in your pajamas.
In your pajamas.
Home. So there was this thing on the internet where people were saying like the alt-right or the alt-left too, who kind of have the same, I don't know, but they're all like, we can't keep letting pajama job people call the shots on lockdowns and stuff, because of course they don't give a fuck because they can just do their job from home. Whereas non-pajama job people actually have their income affected. Like if I went to Costa Rica and I got fucked and had to stay there for 10 days, that would be unpaid 10 days. And I would just be fucked.
Be doubly poor, because how the fuck are you going to pay for those 10 days?
Yeah.
You'd have to find a kind Costa Rican person to put turn on a lamp and put it up against your little.
Where's all those secret Nazis at? I'll help you with your science. I can't afford a hotel.
Where's Jurassic Park?
Welcome to Jurassic
Park. In conclusion, J.K. Rowling sucks, but yeah. I did so up until 2 weeks ago, I never read a Harry Potter book or seen a Harry Potter movie.
What the fuck?
And then Noah and I started watching the Harry Potter movies 2 weeks ago, and now I've seen 4 of them.
Are you to where they start getting good yet?
I don't. I mean, they're fine, but
the last one that's split into 2 movies.
Yeah.
The second movie is basically just a wizard war, so it's fucking dope.
That sounds pretty
And then
dope.
there's one where they ride like skeleton Pegasuses, and that one's all right. But yeah, Harry Potter as a franchise so is like, if you're like Noah's age, like 8, it is the fucking tits.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to be younger than young adult to enjoy them.
And that's why I never I don't understand. Like, I meet adult super fans of Harry Potter, and they're a little.
Well, if they were,
because
what year did Harry Potter the first one come out?
What, the book or the movie?
Yeah, the book.
The book was when I was like, it came out when I was like 16, 17, maybe.
Yeah. So we missed it by 6 years, 7 years. Like if we were 10 when it came out and we read it, because when you're 10, you haven't been reading books like that. So it's like basically anyone 6 years younger than us started reading Harry Potter when they're little, and it got its fucking hooks in. Because if you're 10 and you're reading about wizards and shit, you're not reading other books like that, because Lord of the Rings is a bit too heady for a 10-year-old to read and stuff.
There's like a middle. I read what I started reading when I was 12. Fucking Dragonlance and like Forgotten Realms. Those were pretty. That's like
nerd.
What? Yeah, fuck you, Lord of the Rings fanboy over here. But like Dragonlance is like, they're like fantasy novels that are like that kind of bridge that gap. And that's what should have been. Like, fuck this Harry Potter fucking turf author shit. Kids, if you like Harry Potter, but you hate bigots, go read a Dragonlance book. Because I think, I don't know for sure, but I think the authors of that series have yet to be canceled.
Isn't that one of those books that has multiple authors? Like they get like one author will write like 10 books and there's like 100 books in the series or whatever.
Well, so it was Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman.
2 women. I didn't expect that.
No, apparently Tracy is a man. They are a husband and wife.
Yeah.
Wait. Tracy Ray Hickman. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, that's right. He wrote Dragonlance novels with Margaret Weiss. So one man, one woman. But then I think that it just ended up being. Let
me ask you a question, because this isn't the first. Because I just listened to an audiobook by Bruce Fenton, and he wrote it with his wife. Could you write a book with your wife?
No.
without killing each other.
No, absolutely not. I mean, we barely hosted Christmas dinner without killing each other.
I thought you were doing good, but
Yeah,
I wasn't paid too close attention.
that was actually fine. I was asking because Kate and I were like a long distance relationship, and I kept asking her to like start a long distance relationship podcast with me, and she was like, "No, absolutely fucking not. We're not going to start a podcast together." And then I tried to start a sobriety podcast with her, and she was like, "No, we're not going to do that." So no, I don't think we could do that. Never mind write a long-standing fantasy series for like 40 years.
That's what I was thinking.
But maybe, who knows?
I mean, I probably could. I don't know, because maybe it'd be easier than writing it by yourself. Because I definitely, as we all know, I can't write a novel by myself because I started that one.
Oh yeah, what happened to that? I mean, that would have been a perfect COVID project. Where at the end of COVID, you're like, here's a book about werewolves.
Yeah, but I don't have a pajama job, so I still had to go to work the whole time.
All right.
So I couldn't even stay home and get CERB and write my novel and get super famous. Just got fucking jerked all around.
Fucking damn government.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking assholes. Fuck
the
you.
Worst. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Oh, do you want to talk about good news about people actually, them not getting canceled, but them canceling something?
Yeah. Oh, do you think this is good news, you fucking fanboy idiot?
No, it's good news for you.
Oh, yeah. It's great news for me.
Saying how much they hate the fact that Joe Rogan is coming to Vancouver for fucking Weed Day, April 20th, otherwise known as 420, man.
Yeah. There's two things I love: free thinking and weed. And Joe Rogan meets both of those needs perfectly.
Yeah.
So I was going to go to his fucking idiot live podcast show or whatever the fuck it was.
It's stand-up comedy.
Oh, God. Really?
Did you not know Joe Rogan's a stand-up comic?
I mean, I know that was something.
He has like 6 specials on Netflix.
He was the host of was he the host of Last Comic Standing for a while too?
Was he?
I thought he was. Maybe I was wrong.
I don't remember. He hasn't said he was on his podcast.
Anyway, Joe Rogan's not funny.
Oh, Joe Rogan's hilarious. You got to watch his stand-up. It's nothing like his podcast. But I don't know, like you've probably already been polarized against Joe Rogan because it's basically like, do you like Tom Segura, Ari Shaffir?
I like Tom Segura. Yeah, I like all that.
And Bert Kreischer. It's like it's the same type of humor as all that stuff.
Yeah, probably.
He's actually really good. He's a really good joke writer.
Probably because they're writing his jokes for him.
No, he writes his own. But anyways, he was going to do a live stand-up show, and he is no longer doing it. Partially because he is unvaccinated and will not get vaccinated, so he doesn't think he can get into the country. But the actual more probable reason is because BC cut attendance to live events in half, so he wouldn't make enough money to venture this far north.
Here's the thing I don't get.
Yeah.
Actually, here's the thing I get. Joe Rogan is 100% vaccinated. Joe Rogan received a vaccine.
No, he didn't.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely he did.
No, he didn't. Is this the conspiracy that Joe Rogan got vaccinated?
It's not a conspiracy.
He didn't?
It's not even a conspiracy. It makes perfect sense because Joe Rogan knows his audience will, like, the guy knows how to pander to his base, and he knows which side his bread is buttered on, and he knows he can't come out and say that he got vaccinated.
He never got vaccinated.
He would quietly get vaccinated, not say a word about it.
Nuh-uh.
If the guy's a fucking traveling entertainer who plans on doing shows in other countries at any point for the rest of his life, he needs to be like, Joe Rogan is a businessman first, an entertainer second, and a free thinker 100th. And Joe Rogan fucking knows that if he wants to do, if Joe Rogan wants to do a show in the UK or in Canada or in Spain or in Italy or in France or wherever the fuck else, Joe Rogan needs to be vaccinated. And that isn't even just
he's not vaccinated.
That isn't even just performing in other countries. That is, if he wants to set foot into a Live Nation venue, Joe Rogan, the entertainer, has to be vaccinated.
So he's not going to, because you don't have to be vaccinated to go perform in the States.
You
There
do.
are at some of them that he's just not going to go to then.
Let's see about that.
Like he's just going to go to clubs and stuff.
We're going to do some live research here. Joe Rogan comedy tour.
There's no way Joe Rogan is vaccinated.
Let's see where he's stopping.
If he is, it would change my whole opinion of him.
Let's see where he is. Why would it change your whole opinion of him?
Because it would mean he's a liar.
Oh, but here's the thing. Joe Rogan can do that fucking shit like Alex Jones, where he's like, oh, this is just this character. This is a character I play. This is a persona. Yeah. It makes me money. I am an entertainer. Joe Rogan is fucking vaccinated.
Joe Rogan would never be like, this is a character, because his podcasts they're like 3 hours long and they're too long for him to hold up that character. But I know what you mean. Like when Anthony Jeselnik said that his stand-up comedian like act was a persona, I immediately lost all respect for Jeselnik. I was like, that's not who you are. Why would you even? And just like as soon as I find out any comedian has a persona that they use on stage, I'm like, that guy's a fucking loser. I don't even want to listen to him anymore. Like you could tell Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan when you listen to his podcast, because he would let stuff slip, because you can't talk for 3 hours without letting stuff slip. Joe Rogan doesn't need the money too, because like you were saying, he's a businessman and stuff. Like he just got that $100 million cheddar from Spotify.
Yeah, he got that fucking. That's
still got ads
Spotify
on Spotify.
Money. But I just
Spotify's highest like listened audio or star right now.
So here's the thing though.
Yeah.
How did the guy?
Yeah.
Book a show in Vancouver?
You could book whatever you want.
You can book whatever you want. But if you're doing that,
yeah,
and if you're spending the money to book a venue,
yeah,
like Rogers Arena,
he doesn't have to spend the money.
The promoter would.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't understand why. Like, is he assuming
this might actually be because in 2019 he was booked to perform on 420 up in Canada, and since we couldn't have anything or whatever, it probably kept getting pushed back. So I don't think he booked this during COVID. I think this is just the one that he had booked before COVID keep getting pushed back. So it probably didn't have to spend all this money to book it and stuff, because they're like, well, this is still the make good from the 2 years ago one.
Okay. All that shit aside, Joe Rogan,
yeah,
as an unvaccinated foreign national,
yeah,
is not and will not be able to enter Canada.
Yeah, he was probably just expecting it to change by then.
What? Okay. So here's a question.
Yeah.
For everyone, not just for you. Is Joe Rogan a fucking idiot? We got the smartest man alive, free thinker, looking at the state of the world right now, and he thinks COVID restrictions are going to go away in the next 4 months.
Well, they're going away in the States.
No, fuck no, they're not.
Stuff was opening up for a while. He lives in Texas.
Stuff was opening up in that you can like go places and people aren't wearing masks.
Yeah.
Stuff is opening up in that way. You still can't. The United States just tightened their restrictions around testing for travel.
Well, yeah, this would have been booked before all those restrictions got
they
up.
They just yeah, like we look at it's easy to look at the US and be like, well, things are open and they're more like, fuck no, they aren't, because as far as like, you know, a lot of the like, they don't have the quarantine and shit, but like, I don't think Joe Rogan would look to Canada and be like, they're gonna.
Oh no, he's fucking railing on Canada constantly by how fucking closed down we are and shit.
They're gonna ease up on the restrictions.
I don't know. Maybe he was just holding out hope, like, because for a while he's like, I'm supposed to go up there in April, and I don't think it's gonna happen. But now he was finally like, it's probably canceled.
Yeah.
So
Good.
I honestly don't think he gives a fuck. I think he, at this point, since he's already had COVID, he's just gonna he's gonna stay non-vaccinated because
Oh wait, maybe that would have been his loophole.
yeah.
Because I think you can cross the border. You can cross the border if you have just basically a certificate from a doctor saying that you have recovered from COVID in the past 6 months, maybe.
And he has like a hired nurse that tests him every day before. Like him and his guests, they get tested before the podcast every time he does it so that they can like sit together without masks or whatever. And he's been doing that for like 2 years. He just foots the bill to have a personal nurse just test everybody.
Okay, wait. I'm checking something right now.
Okay. You're not gonna find any smoke gun.
Are you a foreign national? Continue.
What?
Wait. Have you received? I am unvaccinated. Continue.
Are you trying to see if you can get in posing as Joe Rogan?
How do you plan on entering Canada from the United States? Okay. I'm also a foreign national.
I have more money than God.
I'm unvaccinated.
You can't fly in, but I think you can drive in.
Which best describes your primary reason for entry into Canada? Well, because I am Joe Rogan, I am crossing for work activities or employment reasons, right?
Yeah.
This would qualify?
Sure.
Probably?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Continue. Based on your answers, you will likely be allowed to enter Canada. However, the final determination will be made by a government official at the point of entry. And guess what? As we all know, all border guards are part of the Joe Rogan fucking cult of personality. Mm-hmm. So they'll probably let him in.
So everybody, guess what? Joe Rogan could come if he wanted to, I guess. I guess you can't just all have this hot take like Derek did. It'd be like, Joe Rogan's lying. Your boy's lying to you. Because I've seen Joe people Rogan's tweet lying. That.
Joe Rogan's lying.
Nope.
Did you see didn't Trump come out recently and say that he's vaccinated?
Yeah.
And
Trump
everyone should get vaccinated?
Telling everybody to get vaccinated.
Yeah. Because Trump...
This might be years old.
This might be the smartest thing Trump has done. No, because Trump knows that Trump voters are dying at a remarkable clip. Whereas, if there's a virus going through the population and it's only killing people who voted for you, that's not going to help you win the next election. You need
that is smart business.
Yeah. So good on him for doing it.
Plus, if he ever wants to launch any type of media channel or anything, he's going to need those far right olds.
Okay, wait, I'm finding out more shit. Foreign national.
Mm-hmm.
I have received no vaccines. I am from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I am coming here for taking part in amateur sports. Let's go.
Amateur sports, you'll get a no.
You will not likely be allowed to enter Canada, even if you would have tested negative. Okay, wait. What if I am doing just some leisure? You will not. Yeah, you will not be allowed to enter Canada. So I guess if you, like Joe Rogan, are unvaccinated and want to spend 420 smoking weed in Amsterdam, as the locals call it, then you should make sure you have an employment related reason for coming here. And in conclusion, Joe Rogan's a fucking idiot.
Nothing warms the cockles of my little heart more than us spending 20 minutes saying that Joe Rogan could come into Canada and that there is no reason for him to get vaccinated. So he's not a liar. He's still the next Jesus Christ and the most important man in media.
There are many reasons for Joe Rogan or anybody listening to get vaccinated. First and foremost of which being that COVID won't kill or make you deeply ill.
Oh yeah, no. Everybody should be getting vaccinated because whatever bad thing's that's gonna happen to you from the vaccine will be worse if you get COVID. Trust me.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he's right to not be vaccinated. I'm just saying he's not a liar and he's definitely not vaccinated.
Even I got, so here's the thing. I got 2 doses of the discount bargain bin vaccine.
Yeah.
And then
that is probably going to save you from Omicron.
Probably. Well, and then I got my my Pfizer booster,
which is like
on
a fart in a cloud.
Christmas Eve, and fucking Christmas. I single-handedly cooked fucking dinner for 8 people, and everyone bitching about like side effects or although like eat shit because it was Christmas, it was my son's birthday, I was on like 5 hours of sleep, and I hosted and cooked dinner for 8 people, all while recovering from my booster. So if you're on the fence about getting boosted, go out there and do it. Because
like they say you only get the bad side effects is if you've like already had like a mild run-in with COVID or something. And I think if you like probably the AstraZeneca probably saved you from the side effects, because from Pfizer, I don't even know if this is true anymore, but they were saying for a while that the side effects you get from Pfizer was from the spike proteins in the vaccine in your inflaming your body. So AstraZeneca would have helped build your immunity for those specific spike proteins. So I feel like if you have AstraZeneca, you're going to have more mild symptoms from Pfizer than if you have just 3 straight Pfizers.
Right. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm super fucking protected now. So maybe I won't get it. Maybe I will be back here next week to record an episode with you.
I mean, you're going to be the canary in the coal mine. And if you are fucking held up in some hotel in Key West for an extra 10 days, it'll probably make for good pod material.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if I'm kicking it poolside the next time we record, you will know that I have unfortunately tested positive for COVID.
Yeah, that's true. And I probably won't want to talk to you if you're like just going to be all fucking tanned by the pool being like, all right,
I'll be like, oh, I'm so sick with COVID. This is so horrible. And I'll be just like laying on a lounge chair, sipping a fucking fancy drink.
I got the vid.
I've got the vid top. Okay.
I got a runny nose.
Fuck you. That was much longer than I wanted to speak about Joe Rogan, fuckface and dickhead. So
it's so funny how like you hate Joe Rogan so much and I love Joe Rogan so much, and we could still be friends. We don't all have to like the same people, guys.
We just don't ever talk about Joe Rogan or anything Joe Rogan has talked about, which for me is easy because I believe in science and things that are proven. And Joe Rogan sells fucking dick pills made of fucking what are those things called when they like dick pills or whatever? He sells fucking like, oh my god, what is the fucking word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
It's like the new buzzword for like
mindfulness pills.
Joe Rogan pills.
Pills?
Nootropic is what I was looking for. Yeah.
Those aren't for your dick. Those are for your brain.
They're for your dick brain.
They're for your brain.
They're for your brain.
For your actual brain.
Oh, not the brain.
Not the I'm a rap singer brain.
Yeah, I thought it was to make your nuts smoother. Hey, what else are we talking about?
I know we're both comic book guys, kind of ancillary. Like we're not like deep comic book guys, but are you a Punisher guy?
No, I was never really, and I didn't even really watch the Netflix series.
Oh, the Netflix series was dope because it had the guy from Walking Dead. Shane was his name in Walking Dead.
What's his name?
Shane. Oh, I don't know the actor's
name. The fucking I know who you're talking about.
Dude, but it was the first like rated R Marvel TV series. Like,
whoa.
I guess none of them are rated R, but it was brutal. Like he like smashed this guy's face into a mirror and stuff. So anyways, what happened was the Punisher logo is like a skull. If you haven't seen it, you'd know it if you saw it. And then a bunch of cops started putting it on their uniform for fuck knows why. I have no idea. Do you know why they did that?
Because they like to role play as superheroes, probably. I don't fucking know.
He's not even a superhero. He's just a vigilante. So then that got all this like, I think it was like basically like alt-right police officers wore it, and then it got all the slashback. So Marvel was like, I got a good idea. Let's just change the logo since we don't want to not make money off of it. So they changed the Punisher logo.
Whoa,
But
this is dope.
I don't like it at all. The one with
Don't
the
you?
horns. Yeah.
I fucking I think it's super fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right, but now they're getting fucking laid up for, they're saying that it's cultural appropriation because it looks like a Japanese Oni mask.
Yeah. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in the picture, that's like a picture from a comic book, and he clearly looks like he's in Japan because he has a samurai sword and stuff. So it's probably like a side, like a story arc where he goes to Japan and then gets this. So it might even be.
Yeah, it's saying the Punisher is now an agent for a Japanese ninja clan. Dope. The new logo reflects his new role as a member of the Hand, a clan of assassins. Oh
shit.
There you go.
The bud? Hand is, aren't the Hand bad guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. All right.
Oh.
Does it count as cultural appropriation if it's because he's
actually there?
Japanese culture? No. Yeah.
Is it cultural appropriation to visit a different country and partake in the customs there? Who knows?
Become an assassin for warlords in that country?
Who knows?
Yeah.
It probably is.
So, I don't know. Since it's just because he's part of the Hand, is this like a permanent switch? Or are they going to be like, or was this like when IHOP became IHOB for like a week?
Oh, yeah. A single. Remember back in the days when we were like able to talk about shit like that and going to restaurants? God, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was
so nice. I wonder if this is just like they're going to test the waters and say like, yeah, it's for this story arc we're doing, and then see what happens after that.
I'm sure they'll go back. Like there's so much fucking Punisher merchandise out there that
there's no way you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to talk about this meta thing? Because this is ridiculous.
Wait, before you say it's ridiculous, and I have to make sure I don't have to correct you on that. I'm gonna read the article. What?
Why would you have to correct me on this?
Just because I don't want you, like, don't say anything toxic. I'm reading the article. On the surface, it looks fucking ridiculous.
Okay. This is us finding out real time what if Derek thinks this is as ridiculous as I do, because anybody who's ever played I'll give you some background. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know what meta is, it's Facebook started this online virtual reality where it's basically like Second Life, and they're just expecting everybody to forget how that crash and burn. So Meta is this online universe where it's like going to be virtual reality. And since you can move around in there, they're like selling real estate in there, and you could get avatars and stuff in there. So it's like that show Ready Player One, where you like the online version of that, where you can just go in and you could hang out and stuff. And did you read it yet?
Yeah. Keep going. Keep explaining the story.
So while they were beta testing this in, I think it was like, so on December 9th, Meta launched an early version of its newest virtual reality social media platform, Horizon Worlds. So that's a place where you could just go hang out. Oh, I guess this all of Facebook now called Meta?
I mean, the parent company that owns.
Oh, okay. So the website I go to is still
called Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, because I thought that it was just this online shit, like the online virtual reality was. But I guess the online thing that I thought was Meta is actually called Horizon Worlds. So the premise of this platform revolves around creating a virtual space for avatars to hang out, socialize, and build personalized spaces within the sphere of VR. So yeah, this is just like Club Penguin and all that other shit that's already been doing this. And then
Club Penguin. You remember Habbo Hotel? Do you ever play that?
No, I didn't. Yeah, so according to Meta, however, on November 26th, an anonymous female beta tester published a post on the Horizon Worlds Facebook page recounting her experience being groped by a stranger in virtual reality. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's unpack this because this is something we're going to hear about a lot more in the near future as people are going with their avatars and they haven't been playing like stuff like WoW or anything where dudes harass women. Like this is like Gamergate and all that stuff.
Like this is like and it's probably emblematic of the problem. So reading the story on its surface, I was like, well, this is kind of fucking ridiculous. But the more I thought about it, the more it's like, these things are undoubtedly going to grow in popularity. There are going to be more and more human interactions taking place on these platforms. And there was a quote later in the story that kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah.
And it was that I think people should keep in mind that sexual harassment has never had to be a physical thing. It can be verbal or a virtual experience as well. And you're like, okay, yeah, like that is true. So if we're saying that like verbal sexual harassment is a thing, which it is, then how is this that different? Because you're not directly like, sure, you might not be like physically harassing a person, but you're still acting in a way that is designed to make them feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of where the line is. But I also had to fucking like laugh out loud just at this other quote in the story, which was an article another gamer had wrote detailing her account of being groped in a VR action game. And it reads, in between a wave of zombies and demons to shoot down, I was hanging out next to Big Bro 442 waiting for our next attack. Suddenly, Big Bro 442's disembodied helmet faced me dead on. And then it goes on to like detail the shit. But I'm just like, it's hard to read things like that with a straight face because you're just like, this is so fucking ridiculous. Like if you had heard an account like that 20 years ago, you would be like, what the fuck is going on? But I do think it is something that we're going to have to be mindful of. And like, yeah, I would say that like a line that I myself have tried to walk is like, it doesn't necessarily matter if I think it's sexual harassment. If it's enough to make somebody feel like deeply uncomfortable, then yeah, like that's pretty much the fucking line for it.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's like I read this and it's like, because I don't think they have like sensory touchbacks or anything, but like you said, it doesn't have to be physical and stuff. So like even just like emotional or verbal and stuff. But also too, Meta is talking about what they said she should after internal reviewing the incident, Meta determined that the user should have utilized a tool called Safe Zone, a safety feature made available for cases like this. When activated, Safe Zone prompts a protective bubble when users feel threatened, preventing anyone from touching them, talking to them, or interacting in any way until they feel safe enough to disable the feature, which is a really good thing to have in virtual reality. But at the same time, it's like, if she didn't think to use it, how readily available would other people think to use it? And how effective will this be? Because it'll essentially shut you off from the rest of the game.
Well,
it'll be like you're not even in the VR anymore.
Yeah, reading that, the impression I get is that Meta, the company, is going to largely take the same approach with this virtual world as they do with Facebook, in that they're basically like, it's not our job to police anything. Like, if you don't like something,
log off.
You can walk away from it, but it's not, well, we're just a platform. We don't take responsibility for any of this shit. Which, like, sure, it might work on a fucking site where you're allegedly interacting with your family members and friends, but in a big old fucking virtual world, I don't know that putting the onus on people to virtually seal themselves off from interacting with anyone until they feel safe is going to be a policy that is very effective.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah, this is just like, I don't know, this is going to be a fucking headache, because you're going to have to do a lot of like social awareness of shit like this, because there are dudes who aren't like, dudes, probably some women too, who aren't going to be able to like fully respect the implications of all the stuff. Like me, when I started talking about this, like, I didn't think it was as big of a deal as it is, but Derek made some very good points, and I've changed my mind on it, because yeah.
I'll keep going. I like hearing how right I am about shit. So
just like his talk about Joe Rogan, he did prove that Joe Rogan isn't secretly vaccinated. He did prove that.
Fuck you, Dale.
If you like, I think this will be like in the future, could only be a bigger problem. Like when you start getting haptic feedback, which is where you get a suit, and then when you get touched in the game, it vibrates,
and that will make it real, right? Like that would like
that will make it. It'll jump the physical line.
Well,
but
then
remember the thing? What was that on? Show Me the Way. There was this huge thing a little while ago where it was like, it used to be called, like, when you're doing stuff like messing with a person's avatar with your avatar, it's called griefing. When it's non-sexual, that's like just when you like keep shutting doors on them and you basically are just annoying them. There was this big thing online. I don't know if it made it into like the mainstream, but it was this thing where it was like, there was like this Ethiopian knuckles or something, where it was like this
Ugandan knuckles.
Yeah, Ugandan knuckles, where it was like super badly drawn. Do you remember what that was from?
I thought I only ever saw it was just like a meme, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the reason it became a meme was because there was a game where every time there was a girl avatar, there would be like these badly drawn knuckles, and there'd be like 8 of them, and they just swarm this girl, and they'd be like, show me the way, and they would say all this like bad stuff, like sexist, like bullying shit to them.
Yeah.
And it was from what, VR chat,
I think.
Yeah, where you could like draw, I guess you could draw your own avatar and stuff.
Well, and this opens up a whole new question, because if like, it's just going to be interesting, like seeing like if there are actual like sexual harassment and like crimes taking place against people in VR spaces, is like law enforcement going to be tasked with enforcing that, or is it going to be like, is that going to be the jurisdiction of like police departments, or is it going to be the jurisdiction of Meta, or is it going to be the jurisdiction of like, are they going to hire private virtual security to take care of it? Yeah, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah, like, are they going to have to get like New Horizons world or whatever specific police in there? I guess they would have like mods and stuff that are supposed to like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that was from 2017. So that was like, there's been a lot of this shit in the past, but I guess it's like, I mean, it's good that we're like having these discussions now before, when the when the software is still in beta. So people like if you're a parent and you're listening to this, first, don't let your kids listen to this because it'll just ruin them. But second, it's like that annoying thing where you have to actually watch what they're doing online and make sure that even when they're just hanging out in video game lobbies, that they're not getting like verbally harassed and shit.
Yeah, which as we know, everyone has done a fucking bang up job of protecting women online since the internet was created. So great job.
That's true.
Great job, everybody.
Pat yourself on the back. What are you looking at?
Well, I can't tell if those noises are coming from my house or your house.
What noises?
Just noises.
There's
crying.
No noise in my house.
Crying mostly.
Oh, like a little ghost girl?
Yeah, like a little screaming ghost girl with blood coming out of her ass. You don't hear that?
No, I don't hear
okay.
It sounds like that little girl from The Ring.
Cool. Yeah, almost exactly like that. Hey, on that note, I'm flying out to Florida tomorrow, so let's wrap this shit up. Thanks.
Live that Beach Boys life, bro.
I shall, Kokomo. To everyone who has listened or supported the podcast or watched the live stream or donated to our Patreon or bought merch or just told Dale or I how much you like us. Thanks for the past year. Hoping but not hopeful that 2022 is going to be better than 2021. Because I remember last year coming out of it, we were all like, COVID's in the rear view. There's no way next year could possibly be as bad or even worse than 2021 or than 2020. And it ended up very, very much being that. So, hope everyone has a wicked fun, wicked safe New Year's Eve.
Wicked hard. Yeah.
Wicked hard.
You're not going to do too much because although BC did change the regulations, and there's this weird line where they said that sit down events are still allowed. So part of the old person in me is just super hoping that everything just turns into a sit down event. And I don't have to stand watching bands anymore. Like you could just go watch a band and sit down.
Used to, I mean, it depends on the venue. I went to a few shows at the Vogue, I want to say Vogue or the Orpheum, and they had like the fucking theater seating where you could just like.
I saw Yeah's there, and it was dope because you could just sit down and relax.
You just sit and you can see from wherever you are, and you kind of feel like a goober because you're like, well, I should be standing like in the pit, but also you're sitting and just having a good time. So
I should be standing and getting bumped into by people as they walk by me.
Yeah, I love that. I love it when randos rub themselves on me when they walk by me. Hey, thanks for tuning into this episode and all episodes of RH Factory. My name is Derek Boland. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Herder.
My name is Dale DeRuiter. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at SuperDaleBot.
Follow us at Outragefactpod. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/OutrageFactPod. Find us in the metaverse at whatever.
Should we pay? Oh, people are paying like somebody just paid $650,000 for a house in metaverse.
That's so fucking wait, $650,000 like meta dollars or
no regular dollars,
real human dollars,
the equivalent of US dollars. Which, if you have $650,000 to spend in the metaverse and it's not going to affect your real life, then just buy some of our merch.
Yeah,
you don't have to go be a nerd and buy
me for $650,000 US dollars. I will become your indentured servant. I'll do whatever you want.
Derek will be a half price indecent proposal. You can have sex with him for $500,000.
65%. No, $650,000, Dale.
Okay. I mean, it's probably half price with inflation because that movie came out in the 90s.
Don't let your mouth write discounts my ass can't cash because I need that extra 150 grand.
That's true.
Hey, if you liked this podcast or any of other episodes, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Tell your friends about us. Share this episode far and wide so that everyone knows how much Dale loves to suck Joe Rogan's dick. And
spoiler, it's a lot.
And fuck, I don't know. Dale, am I forgetting anything else?
No, I don't think so. Oh,
No.
if you're listening to this on Spotify or your pod grabber, you can go check us out on YouTube. Just search Outrage Fact Pod or Outrage Factory on YouTube, and you can watch this episode video and all the other episode videos.
Come see how handsome we are.
From 115 on, when we started doing videos. So there's almost 80 episodes, 80 hours of our faces that you could just love. And if you want to touch yourself, that's fine too.
Come appreciate our faces however you would like to do that. We don't judge. And until next year,
stay angry.